So did you want a penalty shot on that one?
Yeah, maybe at first, but it was probably maybe a good thing. I was a little tired, and the ice, the ice was bad, so it's good we got it on the power play.
Just what's the feeling of that, and when you're in the locker room, what's the talk about? We're coming out into overtime with power play.
Yeah, obviously it's a huge advantage. You get, clean sheet of ice and a chance to win a series, and the guys did just that. Great play by Saggy, and Tom does what he does all year long and put it in the back of the net, so it's a big one.
Do you shoot a puck better than you did on the goal?
I don't know. You just one of those ones where you just grip it and rip it, and I found a spot. So yeah.
What did it feel like? I mean, we've been talking about depth scoring and different guys who really want to get off the schneid. It just has to be a great feeling in a game like this.
Yeah, for sure. It's always nice to chip in, and when you go on runs like this, you're going to need guys all over the lineup to score. So happy I could be that guy tonight.
Given how many chances the team had in the first period that you couldn't score on, and then they score first, how big was that goal of yours to kind of just settle the nerves a little bit?
Yeah, it's nice to get one there going into the third tied up. Hellebuck played unbelievable for the last however long, so it felt like we couldn't get one past him there for a bit. So it was nice to get one, and then going to the third with 20 minutes tie game to win a series.
Was frustration mounting there when you had somebody changing? You're not going to get that kind of chances forever,
I don't know. I think we just took it as a positive thing. We were creating stuff, and we knew the formula. If we keep doing those things, we're going to keep getting chances, and we knew eventually we're going to get some behind him.
What got into Otter tonight?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know. But he's unbelievable. He makes hard saves look easy, and he's such a calming presence back there for us.
Western Conference final rematch against the Edmonton Oilers. What's the kind of vision for the next round here?
Just stick with what we've been building. I think our game is trending in the right direction, and we're going up against a great team who's playing great hockey. So we know we're gonna have to play even better. But I like the way we're trending.
We remember obviously the first 2 rounds last year was such a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in any ways maybe this team's in a better spot heading into the conference finals than last year?
I don't know. It's never easy. We just played 2 great teams. It's never easy. Last year was tough, and this year is tough. I don't think you're ever going to hear a team say they cruise through a round or cruise through 2 rounds.
Obviously, heavy hearts on the other side of the ice in Winnipeg with the Shackle news. Can you even put into words what it's like to go up and know that somebody's going through that?
Yeah, no, it's tough. We kind of found out today, a group of us, when we were at lunch, and we were all just absolutely gutted for him and his family. And I'm not sure I could do what he did tonight. It's pretty brave of him, and he played his heart out.
Thanks, Sam.
Series been like just coming back in and then going through a game like that?
Yeah. Obviously, tight game and tight series. It's 1 goal game again, and big goal from Halls, and great win, great series. So yeah, it was good.
Do you feel comfortable out there 3 games into it?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Like feels like getting more comfortable every game and every period. It's feels pretty normal right now, and then really looking forward to play next round.
What have you seen from Thomas Harley just over the last few months since you've been out, and what was it like to see him for that goal?
Yeah, he's been great. Really important piece for us. He's can do everything out there. Score goals and play defense and make plays. He's like I said, huge piece of our team, and great to see him score there.
What did you make of the effort tonight? It looked like there were a lot of chances that just couldn't quite make the net.
Oh yeah, it was great effort. I think we played well, and there was a little tougher period, maybe first 10 minutes, second. Jake made some great saves, but I mean, we stuck with it and got the goals we needed and got the win.
What was your point of view of the Otter save? You saw he jumped kind of across.
Oh yeah.
the trees.
Yeah, that was crazy. I just saw the open net there, but he just somehow got it, and great save by him.
Last year, Edmonton eliminated you all in the Western Conference Final. I guess what's the motivation to go in and have a different outcome this time?
Yeah, it's huge. We wanna beat them this time. Wanna lose 2 in a row against the same team, and want to beat them and get to the finals for sure.
Is there a bitter taste after last year's defeat?
Yeah, of course, a little bit. Yeah, always when you get eliminated, it sucks, and it's something you don't wanna do again. And hopefully we can turn it around this time and win the series.
Do you think this team still has another gear? Like, you're still coming back from injury, Robertson's still coming back from injury. Some guys can still get on the score sheet who haven't.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a deep team, a lot of guys who probably still got better, and as a team, I think we still get another gear, and hopefully we can do that in the next round.
Did you say anything to Mark Scheifele in the line?
Yeah, send him condolences to his family. That's awful news, but that's like I said, tough news. But what a player he could play tonight and played extremely well, and it's awful news. But yeah, just all the condolences for their family. Yeah, thanks.
How do you assess this game? It looked like both you and Hellebuck were just kind of out there just battling save after save.
Yeah, it was an awesome game. Just, felt like really tight for the first bit, and then I felt like we were trading chances for the last period. So, I felt like if I could keep us in it for a little longer, we were going to break through. I mean, we had great chances. He made some big saves, so it was just an awesome game all around.
Jake, the save on Appleton where you dove to your right, can you kind of give me a blow-by-blow of that, what you saw on that, how you reacted, how it all went down?
Yeah, I saw Connor come in, and then I thought Lowry was going to shoot it, so I slid over, and then I blew an edge and just threw a prayer over, and it hit me, so got pretty lucky. And I think we were owed that after some of the bounces we got in this round, so I think it all evens out.
Is that the goalie equivalent of like a puck getting kicked over your head and
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So happy it evened out.
Hey, Thomas, what's that like when you have a power play that 18, 15 minutes before planning it, and then how difficult is it to execute that in that moment?
Honestly, I don't think it's any harder. It's the same thing as always. It's a power play. You just got to go out there and execute.
Just can you sum up making the conference final again with everything that was kind of stacked against this team? And do you think you have another gear? Just with Miro coming back from injury, Robertson coming back from injury, some guys still can produce more offensively.
Yeah, I think we, we've learned a lot like the last 2 years, and that's all we wanted after we lost last year was this opportunity, and the fact that we get to play Edmonton again makes it even better. And I think we've all learned a lot. The young guys, like Tom, Wyatt, myself, Rob, all the guys that hadn't had any experience. We have all the experience in the world now, so it's up to us as a group to take that next step, and I think we should feel great about what we've done with the adversity we've faced, and I think I think our best hockey is yet to come.
Hey guys, for Jake, what has it been like to kind of watch Thomas step up in big moments this season, both in Miro's absence and like tonight, and then Thomas, for you, what have these kind of opportunities been like, and how do you feel like you've kind of grabbed them?
Yeah, I think for me, it's hard to replace a guy like Miro, but Tom's, done everything. He's been a workhorse. I think everyone in the locker room knew how good he was, but finally got to show it. And then, when he ditched the U.S. and played for Canada, he got to show everyone just how good he was with the best players in the world. So not surprising to the guys in here. And the fact that you have, two guys like that on the same team is pretty rare. So I think every franchise in the league would want to have one of them, and we have two. So we're very lucky, and they make me look really good every night. So,
Thomas, I don't know if you know your vertical, but it looked like you got off the ice pretty good there. Just what's going through your mind in the moment? What do you remember? What's that feeling like for you?
I don't know. It was all pretty quick. It all happened pretty quick. I do remember jumping up pretty high. I think I would beat my record at training camp with that one. But you know, Sagi made a great play to come around the net with his head up, and I just tried to put it across the green, and it went in. And after that, just, you know, happy thoughts.
Thomas, two-part question. First part, are you running out of places to put Hockey Night in Canada towels? And second part, Sam Steele tonight, goal, drew that penalty for the power play.
Yeah. Hockey Night in Canada towels, I have 2, so no, I think I'll be okay there. And then Steeler, he's been awesome all year long. Whatever's been asked of him, he's done it. He's done it great. And tonight he stepped up big time. You know, huge goal, and then, you know, the drawn penalty at the end of the third is obviously not a great play, but it's the little things that he does that he doesn't get credit for. It's the little plays on the wall. It's his defensive work, and then his work on the PK. And, you know, for him to get rewarded like that, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, just before I take questions, I just want to acknowledge a couple things. One, you know, condolences to Mark Scheifele and his family. I consider myself a Kitchener guy. He's you know, his family's from Kitchener. You know, just courageous, you know, what he did tonight. And I'm sure, you know, his dad would have been really proud of him and what he did, and, you know, and I'm sure his dad would have wanted him there. So tough night for him and anybody in the hockey world, you know, that has been in a situation like that. So hats off to him, you know, a courageous young man. You know, and then the second thing I want to acknowledge is the Winnipeg Jets. You know, I can't imagine there's a better coach team in the league than that coaching staff did with that group. I'm a little biased because we work in the West, but won the President's Trophy. They give you nothing. They play hard. They play as a team. Great leadership. But, you know, I think, you know, they should win the Jack Adams running away, in my opinion, with the job they did this year. So, you know, hats off to those guys, too. All right. Taylor?
Pete, with such a heavy emotion going on the other side, how do you even approach your team going into this one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just tried to keep it business as usual. You know, there's no real right answer to that. So, you know, I think you saw the respect in the line after the game for what they were going through, and particularly Mark. You know, but for us, I mean, it was important to take care of business, and you know, I was proud of our group. You know, we stayed in the moment, we stuck with it. You know, this was a series where, you know, you were never going to feel comfortable. You know, the offense was really hard to come by. There was no room out there. There was not a lot of power plays. And you know what, we world-class goaltender. We stuck with it, and you know, I was proud of how we won that game tonight, because, you know, a less mature team doesn't win that game.
You just beaten 2 of the best teams in the league with a lot going against you. Just how proud are you of that, A, and then B, do you still have more? Do you still have another gear?
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're halfway, right? It sure feels like we've been through a lot. But you know, that's the beauty of the NHL playoffs. I mean, we'll take a couple days. I think we got a lot left. I think, you know, I've said it here, I think we've got something special going on. We're going to have to prove it again. You know, we've been to this spot the last 2 years and haven't taken the next step, so that's the challenge.
And you individually, you make the playoffs, you go deep almost every single time. How proud are you of that? To make the conference final yet again.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you know, what I'm proud of is my coaching staff. You know, I thought this series was one, and I shouldn't say this series. You know, we're where we are this year in the playoffs because of our special teams and our goaltending. Our 5-on-5 play's been good, but our special teams and our goaltending have been exceptional, and that's, you know, Jeff Reese, Steve Spott, Elaine Nazardine. You know, those guys. When it goes the other way, when our power play was bottom of the league the first 2 months of the year, those guys took a lot of flack. You know, so they should get a lot of credit, you know, because that's carried us through 2 rounds and allowed us to get healthy and get Miro back in the lineup and get Robertson back in the lineup.
How important is a player like Sam Steele in a game this tight?
Yeah, depth. You know, it's depth, and you know, you learn a lot about people. You know, in pressure, high intense situations, and Steeler has an unflappability. He rises to the occasion. I thought Mason Marchment did too tonight. I thought he was exceptional for us. Just a couple names. I mean, there's a long list of guys.
Ivan Dawkins, BS3 TV.
Yeah.
Great game, Coach.
Thank you.
From what I understand, there is a warrant out for the arrest of Jake Ottinger. He has committed, in the words of Daryl Razor Ray, grand larceny. Talk a little bit about his play tonight.
Well, I think I alluded to that. I mean, you know, our goaltending's been exceptional. Listen, he just went head-to-head with, you know, maybe the MVP of the league and what everyone is saying is the best goaltender in the world, and he probably was this year in Hellebuck, and he went toe-to-toe with them, nose-to-nose with them the entire series. So, you know, great character gut check by Jake, and he's delivering, you know, at a real key time for us.
I thought Mr. Game 7 would throw the game tonight so he could get another opportunity. What can you draw on last year's experience in Edmonton, against Edmonton, and how they can kind of relate to this group?
Yeah, you know, it's a good question. Every year's different. They're a different team this year. You know, I think a lot like Colorado. They're a better team this year. They're a deeper team this year than they were last year. You see they're getting scoring from a lot of different places other than McDavid and Draisaitl, and they still have that element, obviously, every night. So I think it's a lot like the Colorado series where, you know, we can look back at last year, but I think this is a different, better version that we're playing. And I believe we're a better version of ourselves from last year, too. So, you know, it's going to be a great test.
Thomas Harley, obviously game-winning goal. He's been outstanding in the playoffs and just a rock on this team. Your thoughts on his game?
Yeah, Harles is, you know, if there's an MVP the second half of the season with what happened with Miro, you know, I think it would have to be him. He went to a different level. We piled so much on his shoulders, you know, from running the power play to playing against other teams' best players to transitioning the puck. And the kid just keeps delivering and delivering every night.
Hey, Pete, just curious, I know it worked out in the end, but Sam Steele's breakaway, curious your take on that penalty shot versus not, and then how you quickly flip that to let's focus on scoring on the power play.
I haven't looked at it. You know, it didn't look like a clear-cut penalty shot to me. I don't know if it was or not, but you know, we didn't spend a lot of time on that. We just wanted to dial in on the power play, and I think actually having the break and the fresh ice was a key part of that. The break came at the right time, and the fresh ice was critical, I think, in the first 2 minutes.
Jim Montgomery talked about the chess match that had gone on between he and Scott Arniel in the first round. Could you give us an idea of what that felt like for you, the X's and O's battles that went on as this series went on?
Yeah, well, I think I alluded to the fact I got tremendous respect for Arnie and that coaching staff. I think it was the best coach team in the league, hands down, this year. And, you know, we saw that during the playoffs. You know, he was looking to find his matchups. He was working for certain matchups. He made adjustments between games. You know, they played short too. Morrissey going down for them, you know, is obviously a big hole for them, and they still grinded through. So, you know, big, much respect for him and that staff.
Coach, I'm sorry, Tim, go ahead. Coach, you mentioned a couple weeks ago that you thought coming off last year's playoff loss to Edmonton, you were the better team. That's what made it harder.
Yeah.
Having said that, do you want this one? I mean, I know you want to get to the West Finals, but did you want Edmonton to sort of get a shot at them for what you weren't able to do last year?
Yeah. Boy, I don't know if you ever asked to play Draisaitl and McDavid, but we knew going in. I mean, what a gauntlet of teams. Colorado, Winnipeg's the President's Trophy winning team. Colorado, everyone had, as maybe the next best team in the league, and now we get Edmonton, who everyone has said has probably been the best team in the playoffs so far. So I'm not sure we're wishing to play anybody. I'm not surprised we're getting, another elite team and a really tough test. And we've got to make sure we're ready to go. But the way this is rolled out sure hasn't been easy.
Yeah, Pete, you just eliminated Winnipeg. Now you're playing Edmonton. You're a coach on the Canadian national team. Are you torn by this split personality life you're leading there?
I'm the Canadian representation is always close to my heart when we go to those events. But any other time, right now I'm Finnish. I'm a big Finnish fan.
We'll do 2 more questions.
Pete, we talk so often about how teams develop, how teams change. I'm just curious, from your perspective, how have you developed, especially being in this position again? Does your approach change? Do your emotions change?
One, you never take it for granted. It's so hard to get here. You see teams, there's teams that have gone decades without winning a round of the playoffs. Never mind get to the 3rd round 3 years in a row. So you never take it for granted, and you realize how hard it is. And then when you get there, you want to make sure you take advantage of the opportunity. And you hope you have enough gas in the tank. You hope you can stay healthy. You hope you can get all the same things apply. You got to win some overtime games. Our special teams are going to have to still be elite. Our goaltending is going to have to be great. I think our group's matured through the journey we've gone on the last 2 years, and hopefully we can take that into this series.
Pete, do some of the guys in the room want revenge for what happened last year? And then 2, you would think on the other side that Edmonton's, looking for revenge after last year's Cup. So, how do you balance that factor?
Yeah, well, you've got two hungry teams that have been really close and haven't gotten there yet. So, it's going to be a battle of wills here. They're a little more rested than us. I heard we're not starting till Wednesday, which helps us get a little refreshed here. Should be a great series. Thank you.